Let's start with our first news. Jorge Masvidal continues to take aim at Khamzat. On a recent episode of his Death Row MMA podcast with Joe Pyre as a guest, Masvidal criticized Khamzat's fighting style, claiming the fighter holds opponents down out of fear they might escape. He also offered a breakdown of Khamzat's upcoming clash with Sean Strickland, explaining why he believes the American has the edge in this matchup. "I want Sean Strickland to win," Masvidal said. "I don't like the inactivity of Khamzat. I got nothing bad to say about the man, but it's just, I think I'd rather see somebody with the flag holding that belt. Amen. Always. Yeah, I'm striker, none of that crotch sniffing. Just sit there and sniff crotches, and you have a chance to strike, but you're just holding a guy down because you're so scared they're going to get away, He continued, emphasizing his approach to wrestling. "Yeah, and that's one thing I don't want to do with my wrestling either. I take a guy down, but I go right to work. You got to use it too, because you've been wrestling your whole life. It's never about just holding on. If you're using it to advance your position, get a submission, or strike, that's fighting. But when you're just at a halfway position, guys are literally holding on for dear life. You're not advancing, you're not causing damage. Yeah, you're a better wrestler, but that's not fighting. This is fighting." Masvidal then praised Strickland's wrestling skills. "What I know about Strickland personally is that I've been in the room with him a couple times when he's going with good wrestlers, and he has a very good understanding of an overhook, using the fence to get back to his feet. He has very good hips. He's not easy to take down, but he's even harder to hold down. I think this is going to be the first guy that actually challenges Khamzat in that realm. Even if Khamzat gets a takedown, he's not just going to catch his breath. He's going to have to work even harder to hold a guy down like Strickland. I've seen Strickland with All-Americans, with national champions in the room, and just get away from them. He has a good work ethic. He doesn't get tired and is constantly putting up attempts to get back up." Masvidal concluded, "He has that American fundamental wrestling where if you don't get away, guys hold you down indefinitely. Sean knows how to get away, man. So I got my money on Sean on this one." "Yeah, me too." Move on to another news. Khamzat trolled Arman after Arman referred to himself as a champion. Khamzat responded immediately, asking, "Where's your belt?" The jab was quick and sharp, and it didn't take long for fans to notice the tension. "That's good," Khamzat added, keeping the tone playful but cutting. He went on, pointing out the difference in their styles. "Whatever, it said easy today because he has to wrestle. We are not real wrestlers," Khamzat said, throwing a subtle dig while showing confidence in his own skill set. He made it clear that being a champion isn't just about claiming the title, it's about proving it in the cage. "Champion has a name," he stated, emphasizing that titles carry weight only when they are backed by action. Khamzat didn't stop there. He continued to mock Arman's travels and encounters with smaller opponents. "What is your belt?" "Traveling around the world thanking the small guys, 57 kgs. "I don't know when they want to be champs," he said, highlighting the irony of collecting wins over lighter fighters instead of proving dominance at the top level. The sarcasm in his voice was clear, making it obvious that he sees a gap between words and real achievement. Adding humor to the roast, Khamzat joked, "Can they make one with burger for R? You please watch this one." His taunt was lighthearted yet stung at the same time, a perfect mix of mockery and showmanship. It was a moment designed to entertain fans while sending a clear message that Arman's claim to being a champion doesn't impress him. Even when Arman tried to shrug it off, Khamzat maintained control of the conversation. "No bridge broke. I don't mind. Just watch that," he said, signaling that he's unfazed by any counter-response and that his confidence is unshakable. The exchange showcased Khamzat's quick wit, his ability to dominate verbally, and his skill in turning even small remarks into memorable moments. This interaction proves that Khamzat is always ready to call out opponents, mix humor with critique, and keep fans talking. His style combines sharp observation, confident assertions, and playful trolling, making every exchange a spectacle. Arman's self-proclaimed status as a champion was met with instant challenge, and Khamzat ensured everyone knew exactly where he stands in the hierarchy of the fight game. Move on to another news. Whitaker got honest about Israel Adesanya's fighting future following his fourth consecutive loss, offering insight into what the former champion might need to reignite his career. Whitaker suggested that Adesanya needs to rediscover his hunger for the sport if he plans to continue competing at the highest level. "I think he needs to find that hunger," he said. emphasizing that passion and drive are just as important as skill in maintaining a successful career. He went on to explain that it's easy to make observations, but harder to act on them. It's easy. It's hard. Easy to say, right? Whitaker remarked, highlighting the complexity of sustaining motivation after achieving so much. He noted that Adesanya may be feeling a little comfortable at the moment. He's reached the top of the mountain. He's done everything. He's ticked every box, Whitaker said, pointing out that sometimes success can make it challenging to stay hungry for more. What is there left to achieve anymore? He added. He needs to find that drive to continue doing what he's doing, to light that fire, that hunger, and rekindle that love for the game. Whitaker's insight made it clear that even elite athletes must continuously fuel their own motivation to stay at the top of the sport. He emphasized that losses, while difficult, are valuable learning experiences. I don't think it was a bad thing, Whitaker said. We all learn from our losses. This is a good point for him to make decisions, figure out where he wants to go, and what he wants to do next. He suggested that setbacks can serve as a moment for reflection, giving Adesanya the opportunity to reassess his goals and reignite his competitive edge. Whitaker's perspective highlighted that fighting at the elite level isn't just about physical skill. It's about mindset, desire, and the constant pursuit of excellence. Even champions like Adesanya need to fuel their inner drive, rediscover their passion, and keep challenging themselves if they want to remain relevant in the sport. Ultimately, Whitaker conveyed that Adesanya's future depends on his ability to reconnect with that hunger, that drive, and that love for MMA. Losses are not the end. They're a chance to reflect, rebuild, and return stronger. This moment could be the turning point for Adesanya to reignite his career and remind the world why he was once the undisputed champion. Move on to another news. Paulo Costa is set to face Azamat Madzhakhanov this weekend at UFC 327, moving up to light heavyweight for the matchup. In an interview with Paramount, Costa revealed that he plans to compete in both the middleweight and light heavyweight divisions, keeping the possibility open to move up anytime he sees an opportunity. He explained, "Once I see the opportunity to fight a guy at 205 and he's number 5 or 6, I say, okay, this is a very good opportunity. Let's take that. And because I can move up and down anytime, it's just an advantage." Costa emphasized that his size makes the transitions manageable. "I'm a big guy for middleweight, so it's not too much, not too difficult," he said. His focus is always on delivering excitement for the fans, and he's willing to adapt to make the fights happen. Costa made it clear that his goal is to create memorable matchups. "I'm looking for exciting fights for the fans," he said. When asked if he plans to float between the two divisions moving forward, he confirmed, "Probably. Yes, probably, yes. I'm here to bring the good fights for the fans. I think fans don't care too much about which weight class it is. They just want to see fireworks." His approach shows a fighter who isn't limited by division, but by opportunity and excitement. Paulo Costa's willingness to compete in multiple weight classes opens up intriguing matchups and keeps the audience on the edge of their seats. By moving seamlessly between middleweight and light heavyweight, he demonstrates versatility, confidence, and a commitment to entertaining fans at every turn. Costa's strategy isn't just about rankings or titles. It's about delivering action-packed performances that leave an impression. He wants to challenge himself against top contenders in both divisions, ensuring that every fight is significant and every matchup matters. Fans can expect explosive action, whether he's facing a top middleweight or stepping up to test himself against the elite light heavyweights. This mindset reinforces Costa's reputation as a dynamic and fearless competitor, ready to take any fight that promises excitement. By keeping options open and prioritizing the spectacle of the sport, he is positioning himself as a fighter who transcends weight classes, bringing intensity, power, and relentless energy to every bout. Paulo Costa is clearly focused on delivering show-stopping fights wherever the UFC places him. Move on to another news. Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev went back and forth yesterday after a planned fight fell through. In an interview, Ilia explained that he thought he was set to fight Islam on the White House card, but the matchup never materialized because Islam got injured. Following that, Islam responded on X, claiming that Ilia was to blame for the fight not happening, alleging that Ilia asked the UFC for an unrealistic amount of money, which led the UFC to decline the offer. In his post, Islam even mentioned Ilia's manager, Mali Kawa, saying that he had confirmed the information. Today, Malikawa responded directly to clear the air. He stated, "There's no lie. We said no to both numbers, and the UFC went dark. When they came back and agreed to the numbers, Islam's hand was hurt and he couldn't take the fight." Mali emphasized that the situation wasn't about deception or miscommunication, but simply unfortunate timing and circumstances that were beyond anyone's control. He made it clear that both sides had attempted to make the fight happen, but injuries and logistics ultimately prevented it. Mali didn't hold back in addressing the ongoing commentary on Islam's account, calling for an end to the rumors and misinformation. "So, to whomever is running Islam's account, stop he said, reinforcing that the narrative being spread was not accurate. He reminded fans that the fight between Ilia and Islam remains a priority and that discussions will continue once the White House card is over. "When the White House is over, we will continue to look for that fight and the money that comes with it," Mali added, showing that both fighters and their teams are still committed to making the matchup happen in the future. The exchange highlights the behind-the-scenes negotiations and complications that often occur in MMA, where timing, injuries, and financial agreements can all impact fight scheduling. Despite the public back and forth, Mali's statement clarified that there was no hidden agenda and that both sides remain focused on ensuring the fight happens under the right circumstances. This situation underscores the importance of communication between fighters, managers, and the UFC. Injuries and timing may create delays, but commitment to high-profile matchups like Ilia versus Islam remains strong. Fans can expect that once the White House event concludes, negotiations will resume, and the fight that everyone has been anticipating will get the attention and compensation it deserves. The clarification from Malikawa reinforces that the focus remains on the fight, the competition, and the excitement for the fans. Move on to another news. Dana White appeared on Aiden Ross's livestream, and the conversation was both revealing and entertaining. He confirmed that the UFC is fully committed to the White House fight, saying, "I don't want to jinx it now, but we're pretty solid on we're going to fight." It was clear that the UFC is taking this event very seriously, and Dana shared some exciting details about the setup and the challenges of hosting such a high-profile outdoor event. This weekend, this Saturday, will be the first look people will see of what the South Lawn is going to look like, Dana said, hyping up the audience. Fans will get a sneak peek of the iconic venue on Paramount, providing a glimpse of the stage and atmosphere where the fight will take place. The anticipation is building, and Dana emphasized that the production is ready to deliver an unforgettable experience. However, Dana also acknowledged the unpredictable nature of hosting an outdoor event. When asked about the weather, he was candid. "What if it rains? I gotta play the devil's advocate because people wanted me to ask that. Are you guys prepared for it?" he was asked. Dana responded without hesitation, "We're fighting no matter what. Nothing will stop this show that night. Raining, wet, lightning." He laughed, but made it clear that lightning is the only scenario that could delay the event. "We'd have to just wait the lightning out and then do the fight," he added, stressing that all other weather challenges, including heavy winds or muggy conditions, will not stop the show. Dana elaborated on the difficulties of outdoor events, noting, "Rain would suck, heavy winds will suck. If it's muggy and bugs, all of this is stuff you have to deal with when you do something outside. But we're going through all of it. Doesn't matter what happens, we're still going." His confidence and determination left no doubt that the UFC is committed to making this fight happen, regardless of minor setbacks. He wrapped up by emphasizing that while most challenges can be managed, lightning is the only real concern. "Lightning is the only thing that will really screw us," he said, highlighting the rare but serious risk that comes with outdoor setups. Dana White's comments show the UFC's dedication to delivering an exciting, unforgettable event while acknowledging the unpredictable elements of nature. Fans can rest assured that the fight is happening, and the UFC is prepared for everything except a full-on lightning storm. Move on to another news. Jiří Procházka and Josh Hokit had a wild altercation backstage at UFC 327 Media Day, creating a scene that left everyone stunned. Hokit, who is set to face Curtis Blades this weekend, got into an intense exchange with Procházka that quickly escalated into bizarre and over-the-top threats. Hokit shouted at Jiří, claiming, "I'm gonna cut you up with a lightsaber and stitch your head on Alex Pereira's body. I am homie. Stay where you are." The intensity of the moment was unlike anything seen in a typical media day. The threats continued, with Hokit repeating, "You were a man. I'll cut you up with this lightsaber, homie, and then sit your head on Alex Pereira's body, homie." The confrontation became even more chaotic, blending bizarre imagery with aggressive theatrics. "Is this thing on? Listen, I'm going to take out number 4 and saw off his head, then put it on Alex Pereira's body," Hokit continued, adding increasingly grotesque details. He escalated further, saying, "I'm going to take number 3 and stitch it to the anus of number 2, then take number 2's head and stitch it to the anus of number 1, creating some type of human synap where the Incredible Hulk will put it on a leash and walk it in his front yard." The interaction shifted from threats to chaotic declarations, with Hokit screaming from Miami, Florida, to the old dying man, to the baby on the breast, "Mama, mama, you know who the best is, mama? The Incredible Hulks. The best, mama." The scene quickly devolved into absurd humor and random quips, leaving bystanders baffled. Yeah. Hey, what's up, dog? That got kind of weird, dog. I'm sorry, dog, but the down Vados back, homie, he shouted, mixing nonsensical statements with bravado. The exchange took a final twist with Hokit adding, "How do you get a squirrel down from a tree, homie? You drop your pants and show him your nuts, homie. Dang, dog, that was a good one, homie." The bizarre humor continued with more random jokes, highlighting the chaotic and unpredictable nature of the altercation. What unfolded backstage at UFC 327 was equal parts intense and absurd, showing Jiri Prochaska and Josh Hokit in a moment of high drama and complete unpredictability. Fans and media were left stunned as the exchange blended aggression, theatrics, and surreal comedy into one unforgettable spectacle. This incident will surely be remembered as one of the wildest media day confrontations in UFC history.